Hello, good afternoon, friends and colleagues in the business of academics. My today's lecture will be about navigating academic publishing, a guide to getting published. I remain Professor Abubakar Yakubu from Kebbi State University of Science and Technology, Aliru. I will start by saying that understanding the act of academic publishing is the key to leaving a lasting impression in the world of scholarship. Before we go into discussing more about publishing in recognized and reputable journals, we need to understand the publication landscape. In the publication landscape, there are different areas where you can publish your papers. There are lots of landscapes where research findings are published. Selection of where to publish is based on research topic, audience, open or closed access, publication fee, duration of submission to acceptance, quarterly publication, that is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then index by Scopus or other notable indexing hub. So in writing a research paper that is publishable, what are the key things to be involved? And I call that the writing process. So in the writing process, there are key elements of a well-structured paper, and I've brought it down to an abbreviation I call EMERAD. And what is EMERAD? EMERAD is introduction, methodology, results, discussion, and conclusion. And that is EMERAD for me. So for every paper you're writing, you need to have these main topics in the paper: the introduction, the methodology, the results obtained, and what's your discussion about the result and the conclusion. So what should be captured in introduction is simply why the research. So you need to explain why you are carrying out this research in the introduction. In the methodology, what should be in your mind is how did you do the research? What and what did you do to get to where you're going to? And the result, it is what did you see? What did you get? What are the findings? And in the discussion, so what? That is the discussion. If I've gotten A, then what? So these are the main things that you need to have in a very good reputable paper that is going to be sent for a journal for publication. And it's important for us to understand that maintaining coherence and adhering to publication guidelines is key to getting published. Introduction. I've made a small bit of what introduction should comprise, but I'm breaking it down into 2 or 3 sections under the introduction. So in the introduction, we need to state the problem you intend to address. What is the problem you intend to address? What did you see that you want to address? So state the problem you intend to address. Bring the reader to speed to why the topic is important. State what is known and unknown in your introduction. Get the reader curious. Identification of knowledge gap. What is missing? How do you want to fix what is missing? State the aim and objectives of the study. Explain how you address this gap. Make the reader curious about what you are communicating. Use clear, correct, and concise sentences. Be consistent in terminology usage. For example, if I say a football pitch when I'm writing my paper, I don't come somewhere and then say football arena. So you've changed the initial sentence, so you need to be consistent in the grammar you use. They are all correct anyway, but if I've started by saying football pitch, I should always use football pitch everywhere in the text. So remember that. 2. The methodology. Explain what you did to answer the objectives. Remember, you've stated some objectives, 1, 2, 3 objectives. What did you do to answer the objectives? Or what will you do to answer the objectives is the methodology. So what did you measure? What statistical method did you use? Describe the step-by-step procedures followed during the study, ensuring that the process is replicable. That is the most important part. If I follow the method you have stated, will I be able to get to the same result you have done? Then it means your methodology is very clear. So specify any software or algorithms employed. Discuss the limitation of the study. results. State results objectively. State important findings first. Your narrative should be logical. Report all results, negative or positive. It's a research. Whether the result is good or bad, report everything that you've obtained from your result. The bad result, the good thing about your work, state them all in your work. Avoid repeating what is in tables or figure. What do I mean? For example, I say figure A is 12, B is 16, and then you still plot that in a graph again. You are repeating what you have said already in the figure. So if you want to use graph, use graph. If you want to use table, use tables. So clearly present the main result of the study. Focus on the primary research questions. Use graphs and tables to visually represent data and make complex information more accessible. Compare your findings with previous research, noting similarities, difference, or novel contributions. Present the results in a logical sequence and use clear and concise language. Discussion. Summarize the findings. Compare and contrast your results. Put your findings into context by comparing it with published results. Recognize limitations. Don't be ambiguous with your words. Avoid lengthy sentences. Be more objective than subjective in writing. Conclusion. Communicate the take-home message. Point to future direction. For example, here I'm giving an example on how to make something subjective and rather than objective. Be something objective rather than subjective. So what I'm going to read now, the first part I'm going to read is a subjective statement. The material lost all adhesive properties as temperature increases. The material lost all adhesive properties as temperature increases. This is a subjective statement. Yes, the material has lost adhesive properties due to temperature increase. At what temperature? What material? And then look at the second sentence. It said there was 25% drop in adhesion as temperature reaches 75 degrees centigrade. This is objective. So this is how you should be writing your results or discussion when you are discussing your papers. Avoid subjective statements. It is not that we don't use them, it's still correct, but you avoid them. Try to use objective statements. Review and citations. Do a thorough review, literature review, showcase novelty and proper citation styles. Remember, we have different citation styles: APA, Harvard, Vancouver, ANOVA, lots of citation styles. So whatever citation style you're using, be consistent with it, be current with it. So use current literatures. Cite materials from the journal you wish to publish. If you wish to publish in material, for example, I want to publish my material in journal ABC. It's important that I cite materials from that same journal ABC in the work I wish to publish in journal ABC. Yes, it gives it that flavor. It gives it that express pass for it to be published in ABC. So format journal citations. Format the manuscript according to journal style. Sometimes every journal has its own style of citation or formatting. So read their guidelines and follow their citation styles. Peer review process. Know experts in your study area and have their addresses. It's important because sometimes some journals will ask you to suggest people you want to review your paper. So if you don't know experts in your field, you will not be able to give names of reviewers you need to suggest. So you may be asked to suggest reviewers for your manuscript. The review process may take up to 3 months before the receipt of feedback. Be ready to accept a rejection. Sometimes your paper will be rejected. So rejection gives room for improvement. So when your paper is rejected, it's not completely rejected. They will tell you reasons why it is rejected. Do the correction based on the rejection statement and then improve on the paper and send it to another journal. Do not be discouraged. Respond to the reviewer's comment constructively. Revisions. There should be diligence and flexibility during revision period. Answer queries raised by reviewers constructively. You may not agree with a reviewer comment or suggestion, so give a clear reason why, but constructively. Seek support from colleagues if the need arises. Thank the reviewer for his comments. Take home message for this exercise, for this discussion today. What is my take home message? Have it in mind that your paper may be rejected, but don't feel bad. it's an experience for you to get better. So what is my take-home message? The process of academic publishing can be complex and require careful navigation. The presentation is to help students achieve successful publication. The guide offers a comprehensive approach to the publishing process. So questions, it is time for you to ask your questions. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask your questions. In the absence of any questions, as this is an online tutorial guide, you can send in your questions through my email and I'll be ready to answer your questions. I thank you very much. Now go day, Mieti. Bye-bye.